You may disagree with me, or you may even fight with me if I tell you that there is no big difference between the cavemen who lived in the plains of savannah and us who live in modern societies. Marketing strategists like me usually study the evolution of media and technology. We classify the evolution of marketing into production era, that is the industrial era, then the product era, and then the marketing era, and then the present customer and digital era. Is this approach effective in understanding the human behavior? Will it help us to develop breakthrough products, create highly resonating content? Before we try to figure out the answers for these questions, let's quickly revisit the evolution of humans. Humans emerged as hunter-gatherers living in clans about 2 lakh years ago, and we had developed characteristics that suited that environment. We lived in caves, hunted for food. We lived in extremely dangerous conditions. A mere 7,000 years ago, agriculture was developed, leading to a different lifestyle and society. A mere 200 years ago, industry and commerce took over agriculture, and the conditions of human life has changed radically. Just about 200 years ago, this has happened. In the last 30 years, internet and other modern technologies again changed the way we live life today. If you notice, majority of the human development, the most critical developments, happened only in the last 200 and 250 years or 250 years. Prior to that, almost for 2 lakh years, we lived in caves, we lived in plains, we hunted for our food, we lived in extremely dangerous conditions. But we forget the recency of our shift to these modern technologies. Evolutionary psychologists argue that we still have these circuits, these mental circuits, that were functional for clan living hunter-gatherers. No doubt, our conditions have changed extremely well in the last 250 years, but we as humans haven't changed much. Why? Because the last 7,000 years of this agriculture development and the last 200 and 250 years of industry, commerce, and other technological development is not long enough to produce genetic traits that match the new surroundings. We still exhibit the primitive behavior in so many ways. We still live in groups, as families, as friends, as companies, as organizations, individuals. You can still notice we human beings still live in tribes. We still use the products to display our social status, to sometimes even to attract the opposite sex. If you notice, all these behaviors were inherently presented in the caveman when we lived in the plains of savanna as tribes. Our needs and preferences definitely have changed, no doubt about that. But our core motivators as humans haven't changed much. B.J. Fogg, a Stanford University professor and a behavioral specialist, says there are three core motivators of humans. Irrespective of the development has happened, we still have these three core motivators. Number one, pleasure and pain. We seek pleasure in everything and we try to avoid pain, right? We seek hope and try to avoid fear. The second core motivator, hope and fear. The third one is very, very important. We seek for social acceptance and try to avoid social rejection. So in so many ways, we still exhibit the primitive behavior. I would like to deviate slightly from these things, and let's quickly see the similarities between marketing and religion, which was developed several 100,000 years ago. Every religion has an identity. It is driven by a symbol, color code, dress code, and we can notice symbolism in every religion. Number two, every religion has some kind of thought leadership, like doctrines, philosophies. Number three, every religion is organized around some communities and has platforms like temples, churches, mosques, where people who share the belief system come together. If you notice, all the new marketing strategies which we talk about, be it community development, content marketing, influencer marketing, thought leadership, you will find roots in the religion. The whole idea is to see people not just as the consumers of products, but as the ones who try to find meaning in whatever they do. See the product from the cultural lens, not just from the lens of features and benefits and from the lens of category. Because these brands and products are nothing but the tools that we use to send some signals. We use these things to satiate our core motivators, core desires. Steve Jobs famously said, we have to start with customer experience and work backwards towards technology. We cannot start with technology and try to figure out how to sell. That's a profound statement, right? Today, we are overloaded with data and technology. What we dreadfully lack is the meaningful human insights. Let me summarize this talk with few punchlines. Don't be customer-centric. Don't be product-centric. Don't be technology-centric. Don't be media-centric. Be human-centric. It takes care of everything. Thank you so much.